Hey everyone, my name is Trainer, and with today's video I'll be explaining my current thoughts on Mina's role, her abilities, some items that are good for her, and my current build, as well as some Denizen clears. I will skim over what abilities do and rather analyze them and how to maximize using them. I assume the people watching have played or tested her, so keep that in mind. Mina is a poke hero that wants to trigger love bites, stack her ultimate and get the enemies low to go in for the kill. She primarily deals spirit damage and has great healing outside of teamfights, but has one of the lowest HPs and starts with 2 stamina. As of release, I recommend going side lane with her since she can set up to go ganks and get stacks. Her solo laning is decent because of her healing abilities, and her 1v1 is very useful as well as her teamfighting potentials there with her ultimate. In teamfights, you just want to trigger love bites and keep a distance since she can easily get eliminated due to her HP. I just want to give a shout out to Pop for making some of the tips on the bats. I recommend watching that video because I'm not going to be discussing it here. Mina's defining ability is Love Bite, requiring 7 body shots or 5 headshots to trigger, and also gives her bullet spare damage. This bullet spare damage doesn't affect Mystic Regeneration, Mystic Vulnerability, Mystic Slow and Suppressor, but it triggers on Radiant Regeneration. Cooldown reductions also work on love bites, and I would recommend getting superior cooldown early as majority of her damage comes from the love bite triggers and it works well with Rake. When it comes to upgrading abilities, I recommend maxing out this first. The next ability is Rake, and how insanely good this ability is. This ability allows you to take on trades that would be unfavorable, but you're going to be able to heal it up with the Rake. It also secures troopers like a melee. And not only is this good during the laning phase, but it'll become your best farming tool throughout the game, and I recommend at least 3 points in it before maxing out love bites. You can also use this to float for a short amount of time.
You disgust me.
And abilities like Radiant Regeneration and Quicksilver Reload can utilize this ability's cooldown. The last ability I want to discuss is Nox Nostra. When getting into mid and late game, this should ideally be your second max ability. It deals a ton of damage to objectives because it has no penalties as of writing. And it can easily execute enemies as you stack it more. It can single target, and it's much better single targeting, but it requires centering the ult and having the least amount of enemies inside its range for best effectiveness. I recommend trying to use this as much as possible on enemies and objectives early, and holding it for teamfights mid and late against heroes who need to be silenced, as it silences them for 1 second. So currently I compiled a list of items that you almost always want to buy throughout the game, and some optional ones they can flex depending on the situation. In the excellence section, these are some of the items that you're going to almost always want to buy, and the optional ones are just going to be the ones that you're going to be buying based on the situation. Now, there are some items that I didn't consider for Mina. For one of the worst things that she have, even at Boon 0, is actually her DPS. When you max level this doesn't actually change that much. She has one of the lowest DPSs in the game, does not benefit from the bullet damage, but she does benefit from fire rate, so I would still recommend to purchase fire rate because your love bites is essentially the compensation for the weapon damage that you won't be having. Another bad thing about Mina is actually her base health. Now, her base health at level 0 is 580, and then at max level it's 1476. So it's by far one of the lowest base health in the game, and the only way to really compensate for that is to either buy bonus health or to buy mobility and other items related to just kind of giving her survival that is not like resistance based or healing based. The only exclusion is Siphon Bullets because Siphon Bullets gives you actual health and it's 55, so you can technically overheal. The reason why you don't want to buy resistances is because resistances are based on how much health you have, and it's a lot more effective when you have a lot more health, but it's kind of like useless if you're just like gonna get bursted regardless. And the reason why healing items don't really tend to work, or like lifesteal items for example, is just because Mina doesn't actually have that much health. You're not going to be able to kind of use it if you're just going to get one shot. Your best bet is to kind of just play and space well, and the only item I would actually consider is Radiant Regeneration, because if it's like cooldown reduction, the fact that it works with Rake, and your love bites. So when you shoot somebody, you're guaranteed to have this trigger, and your Rake will also guarantee the trigger as well. So if you're new to the game or just want an introductory build to Mina, I have one that's posted already online. You can kind of just use the public code. It'll be in the description. Otherwise, it's going to be displayed right here as well, and the build order with some little bit of notation. The reason why is because it was specifically for Denizen clears, which I'll be showcasing in the next section. In this next section for Denizen clears, I have a compilation of all the current clears that I know for Mina that you can actually utilize in your games, and I believe that they're going to be very useful. Now, there are some certain sections where it's going to require very specific items, very specific levels, but overall, if you just follow the current beginner's build, I believe that you can utilize all of these clears pretty efficiently. There are definitely a lot more, so if you'd like in the comments below to provide your clears, I'll definitely follow up in another video and give credit to whoever, finds those clears.
Play. I'm going to take my time with them. New York is mine. Wait for me. Scream. Wait for me. Me. Away. It's just a nibble. I'm going to take my time with them. Sounds satisfying. Take my time with them. The beginning of the end. The beginning of the end. I'm going to take my time with them. Please. Wait for me. I need to take my time with that die. You wanna play? So satisfying.